So I'm going to talk on what to do when you receive a large lump sum of money or have a large lump sum of money to deal with. And making decisions is tough at the best of times. And if you throw in a large amount of money, it can be tough to figure out what to do and make a plan for it. So one thing you really want to do is get your mindset right on this. And where did this money come from? Was it from the sale of a business? Was it from an inheritance? Was it from a divorce? Was it from the death of a spouse? Each is going to cause you to have different biases with the money. Do you feel paralyzed with fear with this money? Is the thought of making a decision really burdensome? Do you just, does it feel like a big weight on you to deal with this money? Maybe you need to talk to a counselor. Talk to somebody about your emotions and your feelings and why you're feeling this way. And that's going to help you understand, like, hey, I've got some emotion with this money. And so that you know when you're making that decision, oh yeah, this is my brain telling me or making me feel this way is because, maybe it's from a divorce, like that was a bad relationship, or death of a spouse, I feel some guilt there. And there's a number of feelings you can feel. You can feel like maybe you don't deserve the money. Maybe you feel guilty about having the money. Maybe you feel, excited about having the money. And actually there was one person I was talking to, and they had received some money from someone, and they didn't really feel like they deserved it. And so subconsciously their brain was telling them, hey, you don't deserve this money. You got to go spend it, right? Like you get rid of this money because you don't deserve it. It's making you uncomfortable. I know that sounds silly, but it was a real thing. And so they ended up like just spending money quite frivolously, and it was like started to run out. And so, that's often why lottery winners run out of money, right? Like they get this money and maybe they don't feel like they deserve it, or they boost up their lifestyle. So getting your emotions in check, finding out why, how you're feeling is going to be really important. I'd also make a decision on when you're going to make a decision. So I'm going to make a decision in a month's time about what to do, 2 weeks time, whatever it is. And then that's going to force you to do some research and get stuff going. I'd also get educated. I've got some great books to read. And there's a number of things that you can look at so that you feel more empowered to make that decision. And so what are the decisions that you can make? Well, number one, you can throw it into a 1-year GIC. So that pretty easy decision to do and just kick the can down the road, like, hey, we're gonna lock it up for a year. I would caution you about doing that because seen time and time again, people put into 1-year GICs and then 5 or 6 years later and they just haven't made a decision. Also, are you funding a 20-year retirement with 20-year retirement with 20 1-year GICs? Probably not the greatest idea, right? Getting a plan in place, maybe it's a GIC ladder. Maybe it is putting in some in a GIC and some in something else. So, think about that. Do you want to pay down debt? So, interest rates have gone up, and if you've got a variable rate mortgage or a variable rate loan, paying down that debt probably is going to be appropriate, right? You have to see what your plan is, but rates have gone up so much, and maybe you've got some mortgages renewing. So you take a look at, hey, this is a renewal rate, and this is what things are, and so you might want to be paying down some debt there. If you have a mortgage that's at a really low rate, you might want to keep it and then reinvest the funds in something else because the rates are so low. Setting up a plan, and this takes the most work and thinking and everything like that, and so it's easy just to say, I don't want to do that right now, but your long-term goals, your long-term hopes and dreams is really appropriate. And so thinking about, what do we want to do this money? Is this 5-year money? Is this 1-year money? Is this 20-year money? Well, let's act appropriate. Let's invest in things that are 20-year investments or 5-year investments. And keeping that in line there, let's set up a cash wedge. Maybe we put some in some guaranteed because we're going to have some expenses and what it is. And maybe with this sale, you've got some taxes that are due. The sale of a business is taxes that are due, or whatever it is. There might be some taxes, so you might want to keep some money aside. Maybe it's buying real estate. So, long term, real estate can do well, but you got to ask yourself, okay, so am I going to manage it? Is someone else going to manage it? What are the costs going to be? What are the rate of returns going to be? You're competing in real estate with professionals. There's people looking at deals all the time. So finding out, hey, after cost, this is actually what my rate of return is, and if the market stays flat for a while, I'm going to be spending it's going to be a lot of risk because if there's maintenance and bad renters and blah, blah, blah. So find out what that is and get a plan in place. I'm happy to help. I deal with a lot of folks that, they have this big check or they've received a bunch of money and it's just overwhelming for them. And so we just go through with baby steps. So if that's you, feel free to reach out. Hope this helped. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. Love to connect. Have a great day.